If you want your pet to be healthy without the ingredients of murder, Veger, it's packed with protein. Go to Veger.com. If you love animals but you're not sure what to order, go to VGRRR.com.
Critical thinking number 6. Logical fallacies. Argument from ignorance. You want to be careful when calling this one out. You don't want them to think you're calling them ignorant. But this is all over the comments of the other philosophy videos that I've done. Sometimes called God of the gaps, it's an assertion when no evidence exists. Just because we don't know how abiogenesis works doesn't mean God. Just because there's a shiny light in the sky that we don't know doesn't mean aliens. In our evolutionary growth, thousands of years ago, those who gave agency to the wind ran away and spread their faulty DNA everywhere. Those who were curious and went to go take a look got eaten by the lion. It's still not a good argument, though. You don't get to assert something when you don't know. The burden of proof is on you. I don't know is a perfectly acceptable answer and drives science. Critical thinking number 3, the art of the argument part 2. Go up the chain for number 1. So I want to talk about inductive and deductive reasoning as part of the argument. I think this is a big point of contention. So is evidence, which I'll get to, but inductive reasoning is generalized. You can make conclusions based off observations that aren't necessarily true. This is a big problem because when you take a small sample of something much larger and use the information you gather from that sample to make a larger generalization, it's not science. It's not logical. This can lead to hypotheses, which are then later put through a more rigorous deductive process. Find that video in the comments.
I can't force you to do anything. I can't force you to do what's right. All I can do is hope that you think of them the next time you pick up your fork and you take a bite. I can't force you to do anything. I can't force you to do what's right. All I can do is hope that you think of them the next time you pick up your fork and you take a bite. Hands up! Duet this. Speciesism is the first form of racism and both of them are wrong. Be better, be vegan from now on. Okay? Okay! Hooray! I know it would seem like that, right? But it's not actually true. Because what will happen is, gradually, over time, people will stop eating pigs, chickens, cows, sheep, and so on. And so, our society works with supply and demand. So the less that society demands these products, the less they will be created in the first place. So you're thinking to yourself, how are we creating these animals? Well, we are, because we forcefully impregnate them. Yeah, the R word. So it's not okay what we do to these animals. We create them to begin with. Instead, what we should do is stop creating cows, pigs, and chickens and all these other animals that we exploit and just grow crops and use the crops ourselves rather than feeding them to the animals first. This would be best for the environment, for our own health, and of course for the animals. Why are there so many women who are vegan, but not that many men? What are they scared of? How come they're not as brave as women are? Women are willing to look into their own hearts and admit their own guilt, and willing to say, oh my goodness, I had no idea that I was paying into these industries. I don't want to pay people to rape, torture, and murder innocent animals. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna buy dairy milk anymore. But men are too afraid. You guys, come on. We need to get those numbers up. The women and the men need to be equal. Remember the old days when there used to be a fire somewhere, a building burning, and there were animals in? The men would roll up their sleeves and run in and save the animals? Yeah, you know, like your ancestors? Come on, guys. Get away from the video games where there's violence and get into real life and step up and... Well, thank you so much for the compliment. You know that being vegan means to be a vegan animal rights activist, which means that you care about the animals? So if that's my only personality trait, if that's how I will be remembered, all I ever did is care about the innocent victims of society, I never did one other thing, that's totally fine with me. How are you going to be remembered? As somebody who knew about the violence, but who kept paying for the rape, torture, and murder of innocent animals? Well, maybe that's how you want to be remembered. I'd rather spend my life helping the animals. Have a great day. Bye. Well, since male cows don't give milk, you went underneath a male cow and started sucking on... So you think that religion is an excuse for animal abuse? What other kinds of bullshit do you tell yourself so you can sleep at night? Kidney beans, cauliflower, rice, tomatoes, onions. Kidney beans, cauliflower, rice, tomatoes, onions. Throw in a little bit of chili powder. It makes you burp just a little bit louder.